Hi guys. Um, TGIF. It's Friday. Today was pretty good. I spoke to a couple friends, a crossing guard that left earlier in the year. She lives down the street, but she works so much. She works so hard. So she was on today, and I went to get Vanna out early dismissal. Just a half an hour before school ended, and I had the conversation with them about this whole zoo thing, and I was like, well, there is kids that signed up and they're not coming, so I wrote down the information. I was like, just keep her in mind to squeeze her in, so they're gonna do that. It was like, she wants to be a zookeeper, you gotta let her do this. I didn't. She said that that was the most replies they have ever gotten with a promotion, she said. So everybody must have filled it out and sent it back the next day. I don't know how they were chosen though then, so hopefully that'll work out. We're all packed to go to Amber's this weekend, which should be fun. It's gonna be nice to see the babies and spend time with Lexi too, since she's been born.
Me.
And you, yes, Vanabelle. Vanabelle wanted to say hi because she was embarrassed of how she acted yesterday, and she is very sorry. Yeah, there's a place that I discussed with the bridge psychiatrist at the doctor's office about just counseling for her too through this, and it's a place in Hocassin that does only kids that have lost a parent. So, and he said it's really good, and I'm gonna do that. He sent the email with the referrals for me and her. I read a couple of the comments, and people were like, that's the doctor's job and stuff to bring up your history. And I know that, and I do get it and understand it. It just worries me because of who it is. Christiana has a tendency to just like focus on one thing that happened 20 years ago, and they don't let it go. It's not like the first couple initial when you're getting to know someone. It's like, yeah, I had this problem, and I wasn't rude to her. I guess I must have seemed annoyed in the video, but I was kind to her, and I talked, and I answered every question and explained the past and what's going on now and everything. But that was the thing. The whole hour just kept going right back to one diagnosis 20 years ago, and then immediately wanted to change the medication, and I was like, no. I was on lots of medications for that through the years, and I told her them all, and I was like, it was not up until a few years ago when they put me on Prozac, which helped everything. And that's good. So she wanted to change that even. And I was just like, no, this routine, this regimen, this has been working. And before everything else, it was not working. Like, just mentally, it was just sad. In the house, at least. When I get outside and talk to people, I'm like, so happy to see somebody. I'm just like, ah. And I do have a tendency also, I'm sure people that watch every day have realized this, but I have a tendency to just talk as if people know what's going on or who someone is. I do it all the time for years now. I'll be talking to somebody and I'll be like, Amber this, Amber that, and they'll just be like, well, who's Amber? And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I tend to do that, and I guess that mixes people up and confuses them, and then how I bounce from subject to subject. So I'm going to try and be more aware of that, because a couple of my followers, my first one and Rosita, they seemed upset with me that I guess the story didn't make sense or didn't add up, and I was talking about a couple different babies, Amber's and mine, and then the baby I had for Amber. So I guess something got mixed up in there. But you know, everything is what it is. I come on here to vent. Amber found my videos like a week ago, and I said to her, you know, when this happened and Don went away, I started these videos, and I was like, it's funny because for me, it's like a place to vent and just document to remember everything that's happening, that's going on. And, Vanna, can you turn that down a little bit, please?
No.
Just a little, because I can't talk too loud. Thank you. So, you know, I got on here, and in my mind, I felt like no one's listening. So I just needed to talk to someone so bad and couldn't. And I was like, it's funny because I'm so comfortable to just be myself and completely just talk about life and everything that's happened in life and happening. And I'm just so comfortable. I wouldn't be like that if I were talking to a therapist. And I said, but it's funny because it's the world, you know? Everyone in the world can see this. What are you trying to get?
I want it up.
Okay, well, just ask, honey. Thank you. And she said, well, I think it's a good outlet for you then. So that is what happened. He left, and I guess it was grief. I'm not sure. I had people to talk to, like Mom or Amber, but I didn't want to. It was like I just couldn't. I didn't want to. And I can't really explain why. So I had talked to I guess, an influencer that the only one I ever watched when I would ever happen to get on Facebook and stuff. And she's Krista, and she's the beauty tender. And she just does makeup and clothes and watches and stuff, but she's a lot like me, personality-wise. So I messaged her, because I've talked in comments throughout the years here and there, but I messaged her and told her what was going on, and she was telling me that videos are a good release and stuff. So I thanked her for that, because it has been, and it's helped a lot. Literally. You guys have given me so much support and advice and just hope and faith, along with all the extra help as well. So it's been a good thing for me. And that's just what it was. And then I thought, well, at least I'm documenting it, and some good will come out of it, because this can help other people. So if they're in a situation like me, they know what they have to do and where they have to go. And then all the million other places and information and calls, and it's all documented. So it's just like every step, and it'll help people, and people can relate that have gone through it or will, unfortunately. So, you know, sometimes I'm down. It's been very hard. Life's been turned upside down, spun around, and thrown in the trash. So sometimes I'm down, and like I've said several times, I hate that, because it's not me. I'm always, you know, happy and chipper and smiling and laughing, you know, any old thing. I mean, any little thing makes me laugh or smile. So, and that's what I said. You know, I'll be like, oh, the wires aren't done, or the doctor said this and that, but then I'll always look and like smile or I'll be smiling as I'm saying it because I know I'm just venting, and just being silly, but just getting it out of my mind, I do whatever it is. I don't not do anything that I'm talking about because I don't like it, or there's a reason that I want to. It's everything I do, I have to do. So I do go through with everything, even if I don't like it. It's what needs to be done. And the doctor thing just really bums me out because it's when you do have mental health issues, and you have to put yourself in my shoes, that was the one person I was seeing once a month for 6 years then. I've been seeing her for 8 years, but for once a month for about 6 years, it was just her. So there's a bond there. We talk about her kids and her grandkids even, it's like family almost. And she can't do anything. She just works there for Dr. Ware. It's Dr. Ware's practice, and it's all about the money. Unfortunately, he's an extremely nice, great guy, and very well-respected doctor, but it is about the money. I was supposed to make 2 appointments a month, one for the medication program, and then making another one for like my heart medication, the Prozac, sleeping, anything like that, the nausea medicine, all the other medications I was supposed to make a second appointment for. So that would have been 100 2 times a month. And she said, no, come to me from now on and I'll do that. That's just about money. So that's what started it, because I missed an appointment with him and had to go to her 6 years ago. And then she was just like, no, you come to me. And then we bonded. So it's like losing a friend or someone you see all the time. It's sad. And when you don't deal with change good in the first place, something just as bad as this has happened. It's so much change so quickly, and every day is different. I was used to living in a time loop. We would joke at night that I was in a time loop, because you're doing the same routine every day, the same thing. And that's why my memory would even get bad, because it's like, well, what day was that? Did I do this today? Or what? Because all the days were the same. So you become used to things like that. This thing's really loud. Please stop that for 1 second. Then take it in the other room because it's screaming. Turn the button down 1, 2. It doesn't have to be, yeah, thank you, there you go. So I just wanted to say that, I guess I'm complaining some days, but that's just to vent and get it off my chest, and I still make the appointments and go to whatever place it is. I'm doing what I have to do. But yeah, and if anyone ever has a question, I'm an open book. Just ask, because I know sometimes the way I talk, which I got from my mother, is confusing sometimes. They better not be on the porch, Vanna. I already told all of them not to be on the porch because it's painted. The guy painted half of it today. Are they on the porch? No. Okay. They came up, he put big tape across the railing, and that reminds me I needed to show Rosita the railings. They put big tape up, and that obviously means no, do not cross. And I opened the door, and there's 6 kids up here. Guys, be careful on that, buddy. That's painted. The whole thing's painted. Don't touch the railings or the steps. Here are the things I was talking about. Oh, it's not on that side, but it still might grow big. So one's on this side. See it? I hope you can see it. And then I was going to plant the other flower on this side, but there's the railing that you're saying it might wrap around. So maybe I'll get a third one to do on that side too then, if Mom can do that. She was saying that yesterday. Vanna, get in here. You were not supposed... Vanna? Ay, ay, ay. We got like a few minutes until Aunt Amber picks us up. That light is really bright. So those are the railings that I hope the those tree bushes vine up then, like you thought they might. So that would be pretty cool. Yeah, yesterday Mom was saying that she wanted to go back and get 2 more. She was saying about my other, not that railing, she didn't know that, but the other side. And then she was like, I had the one pink one and I didn't know that, so when I was looking I want another pink one to match it. So that would be pretty cool if that does that. Thank you for telling me what the flower is. Yeah, and I showed the Tin Man to another commenter. I gave the video of the Tin Man that's on there. He is so cool. So I think it's going to be a really good weekend. I'm not sure if we're saying Saturday and Sunday. Probably just tomorrow, but or maybe Saturday and Sunday. I was thinking about maybe doing my hair a darker color, not like dark, but like a darker blondish color, just to kind of tone it down for right now, because it's just too hard to do every month, because it's black, you know, it's so much time, and I just do not have that right now every month, so it's very hard to keep up with when you have blonde hair. And then you don't want to touch it because you don't want it to break. You got to be very careful. My hair is weird, it just doesn't grow. It should be way longer than it is, because it only gets a little trimmed once a month, just a little, like half an inch, and it was longer, but then Jane was making me feel bad about gold, so then I was trying to fix it and touching it and putting it on when I shouldn't have been, so that made it a little dry, and I guess it's breaking at the ends because I can feel that it's shorter. But my hair always was like that. Even when it wasn't blonde, it just takes forever to grow, and then you see that it's growing, but then where's it going? I didn't understand it when it was not dyed, you know. And all my kids are like that. They were all born like bald, even baby Charlie. So her hair is just starting to grow, and it's still kind of in patches and stuff. And Vanna's hair's never been cut. It's down to right to her butt, just trimmed a little tiny bit. And like that's a picture of her when she's about 3, and it's just little curls just to here. So I'm not sure what it is. I guess it's just a gene thing, DNA, but it takes a long time for our hair to grow. Yeah, I'm sorry if I confused some of you guys. I do that. I tend to I just talk like people already know who I'm referring to or what I'm referring to, and I'm just talking as if nobody's listening, just to talk and get it all out. So I'm sorry if I confused anybody. It was about Joey and Jackie. They're with Dunn's sister. I've said that. Becky has them. She's the one that got the Social Security checks for them. They live with her. They're 16 and 17. Well, about to be 17 and 18, basically. And I have Annabelle, and then there was Charlie and Lexi, and then I was talking about when, just when Julian was born, just everything we know about how awful Christiana was with different babies and the situations. With the whole Charlie situation, there's a lawsuit pending, and it's literally like 63 things that I wrote down in the book of from beginning to end of that whole process that was just things that weren't done right, which caused me to flatline in the end, and then the baby to be on medicine, and then what, it just didn't make sense. And the way they were treating them too, it wasn't just me. They all knew this was like a surrogacy thing, and they were talking to me, a lot of the nurses pretty much acting like they're stealing my baby, and like, do you really want to do this? What are you doing? I'm confused, and this and that. And I'm like, I was inseminated, it's not. And then they were treating them like that. One nurse I had to take off the case, Charlie's case, because Amber came in my room crying hysterically. And in 15 years, I have never seen that woman cry like that. She's teared up a few times, but nothing like this. Amber's the strongest woman I know. She couldn't even breathe. And I'm like, what's wrong? What's happening? Is the baby okay? And she's like, yes. She's like, I'm in there. And you had to know that she was having a hard time, because everyone kept saying the mother has to sign this and that. And it's her baby. She's the mommy. And they were treating her awful. And that nurse, she needed something, and I had to be there or something. So it was like the doctors would come to my room, ask me a question, like, can we give the baby this cream or whatever, before all the things were signed. And I was like, yeah, I'd ask Amber. I think it's okay if legally you need my answer, but ask her too. And Jay, he's the father. I was inseminated. I was like, well, you don't need to just ask me to, ask him too, or whatever. And it was just all this crazy stuff. But so they had to ask me, okay. And she understood that too. But the one nurse was so mean. She kept saying a lot of things. I don't remember them, so that's why I write the stuff down. But the main thing was she started screaming in Amber's face, "You're not the mother. I need to talk to the mother. You are not the mother of this baby." And Amber just had to walk away, and that's what she was broke down. So I had to come in there screaming. I was like, she is the mother. I was like, we understand that with the paperwork and stuff that I biologically have to sign it. So the doctors have been coming back and forth respectfully to ask questions or have me sign things. For you to be screaming in her face when she's sitting there trying to feed her newborn baby and bond that you're not the mother, what is wrong with you and stuff. So I just felt like it was crazy. She was so rude 2 days before then, all day to them, because Jay slept in the room with the baby all day, every night, for the whole week that she had to stay in there, and I had to stay in there for 3 weeks. That's how messed up they messed this situation. I was in the hospital for 3 weeks after giving birth, after flatlining and having transfusions and all this. So that was one situation, and then, you know, it was a lot. And then after they removed her from the case, another nurse was talking to us. One a very nice one. She was very cool. Her name was Brenda. And she was like, I think she just has this pre-notion in her head because she adopted her sister's baby because she was on drugs. And I was like, well, why would she be relating that to us? And she's like, I guess she thinks you were on that medicine because of drugs. And I'm like, can't she just look in the record and see that that was pain management? I've never been on drugs. There is no drug abuse, this and that. So then that's when we realized that a lot of them were seeing that medicine and thinking heroin. And so then I had to start telling everybody, even a church lady that came in thought the same thing. And I was like, no. And I was like, I told her everything. And then I broke down crying because I was like, this is why they're treating us like this. And she said that every night, the doctors, the nurses, the staff, they sit down and have a meeting and talk about the patients or this and that. And she was like, I'll tell them what's going on because that is what a lot of them think. And I thought it too, to be honest with you, and stuff like that. I didn't know. I just seen medicine and equated it with that. So I was like, thank you, please do. And after she did that, then they were being nice and stuff. But before that, it was just awful. And then come to find out that she didn't even need to be on that medicine. And then with Vanna, they did that when I wasn't on any medicine on accident because they didn't read the chart right. So it was just a lot of things that need to be ironed out with the behavior and the malpractice and negligence. It's just, and that's mainly the maternity ward. When I was treated during my alcoholism at the Wilmington Hospital, they were amazing. And like when I've been in the ER for things or stuff, I've never had any problems. So it's mainly, these stories are all wild, crazy things that you would never believe that have happened in the maternity ward. Giving the epidural as I'm giving birth, 10 centimeters dilated. That was, what are you doing? So it's a lot. It really is. And I'll do these videos and I'm trying to slowly, say about my life. So I like when I get to an event like that, it's a long story, it's details. I usually like to do it each one subject in one video. So there's bits and pieces I tell you guys along the line, but then I get to an actual event and explain so that no one gets confused. Alright guys, thank you for supporting me, sharing, and subscribing. And as always, please share the GoFundMe page. It helps so very much. I love you guys. I want you to be safe and have a good weekend. It's Friday. Yay! Alright, I'll see you guys maybe tomorrow. But if not, probably Monday then. Or I'll probably see you tomorrow or Sunday because I want you guys to see the babies. Alright, have fun and be safe. Bye.